Hey, what is up guys? Welcome to Software Engineering with Karthik. So this is another video in the multi-part video series that I've been doing. In these videos, I'm building a network library from the scratch. As I'm building, I'm explaining some of the reason behind the decisions that I'm making. So that way I can explain some of the design principles behind backing those reasons. So anyway, if you have not got a chance to check out my previous video, I would highly recommend you do that, because this video is also a continuation of my previous videos and previous work. At least if you can check out the code from the GitHub repository and get yourself familiarized with the code base. As I said, otherwise this video is not going to make any sense. All right, so without any further delay, let's dive into Xcode. So let's see what we have here so far. So far, we have implemented 3 use cases for request, response, and error, and 1 use case for improving the URL request generation, and then 3 more use case for logging. So this is what we have so far. So in this video, what we're gonna do is we're gonna just add 1 more use case for a upload request. In any project, you will have a upload and download request. So in this video, we're going to do upload request. So as usual, let's do our use case analysis. While we're doing it, let me build this project once, so that when we do programming, we don't have to wait for the Xcode to launch the simulator. So anyway, there you go. So let's see what we can do. So I'm gonna add a use case called given a network service, when a upload request is received, then the request is sent to the server, right? So that's what we want to do. So when upload request is received, we wanted to send the request to the server. If we have enough time, we can just add 1 more use case. Given a network service, when a upload request received progress, then the progress report is sent to the consumer, right? So if you have time, we will implement this thing, but when we implement this thing, there should be more than enough. Anybody can implement the progress as well. So these are the 2 things that we are targeting to do in this video. Let's see how far we can go. Hopefully this is launched. Okay, anyway. Okay, sounds good. Let's go back to our okay, since it's ran, so we have oh no, what happened? We should be having 100% use code coverage. Did we miss something? Oh, okay, for some reason it is commented. Okay. It's running. Okay, sounds good. It's 100% code coverage. I don't know why it was commented, but anyway. So let's go to our test and create a new test file, because we are doing test-driven development. In this test-driven development, we're going to first write the test, and then we're going to write the implementation later. You know what? Actually, the word network seems to be very redundant, isn't it? Upload test, right? Upload request test. This should be enough. I'll rename all the remaining thing later. Hopefully this is recording. Yeah, it's recording. Let's see. Let's import our test, exit test, final class. All right. So this is we have here. Let's copy paste some of the code, which we already have. Okay. So we have a request. That means we're gonna have to import the network as well, which is our target. We have a network target, which is our main target. So remaining things are same. We're gonna need a import combine. So because we are using a cancelable. So let's see what we have here in the setup method. We're initializing a bag. We have a platform called mock platform. Guys, if you have not got a chance to check out my previous video, please go check out it. Because as I said, this video is a continuation. So the reason I'm saying is that is because in my previous videos, I have explained what is the reason behind this mock URL session. So to give you a summary, anybody who watched this video, just please feel free to skip this. So this is a network, this is a platform abstraction protocol that we have introduced. You know, in the source, if you check out the network service, this is where our request, any request is going to end up, right? So this request is going to forward this URL request. This service is going to forward the URL request to a platform class, which is usually this is URL session is our platform class, because that's where all the requests are going to end up in our iOS code base. So we are going to abstract that network platform. So that by abstracting it, we have an advantage of mocking that platform in our test bundle, right? So URL session is one boundary. So if we abstract that, that boundary can be mocked in our test. That is a benefit of it. So I always recommend abstracting your boundaries so that it can be mocked in your test, so that you can test your business logic, which is your service, right? So that's the reason behind this mock URL session. Okay, so let's not do this. Let's keep it simple. So we're going to have a mock platform, and we have a builder called a network service builder. This builder is going to generate a network requesting. This network requesting is where any consumers are going to talk with. Sorry, not this one. Oh yeah, let's go there. So you see that one. So this builder, it's going to build, and then this component will contain network requesting. This is going to contain a network request. So this is the protocol through which the consumers are going to talk to network service, right? So we're gonna, all right, so we have that. So let's implement our use case here. So enough in the recap. So given a network service, when a upload request is received and the request is sent to the server, we want to make sure that when upload request is sent, then the network service is forwarding that request to our mock platform. From there onwards, it is not our control. We wanted to, that's all we can do. So what we're gonna do here is we're gonna create a request. Request with some URL. Dot, I don't know. We already have something like that, right? Why don't we just copy this? This is a redundant test, but we want to make sure that this also works for the upload as well. I wouldn't mind having one more redundant test. That's fine. So we're creating a request, and then the request body is equal to, I don't know, we can just why don't we just actually create a upload request, or um, yeah, I forgot how do we generate the multi-part request. I'm gonna Google it, guys. As I said, this is not a scripted, so this is how it is going to go. This is how we usually work, any engineer would work. Right, so I'm gonna copy paste some of the code here. So I wanted to know what's going on here. This is a data task. Oh, this is a really good website. All right, so let's see how are we performing this request. I just want to copy paste the URL request. I don't want many of those. Upload a file, URL request, cache policy, HTTP post method. All right, she's not adding anything here. He's asking us to do a file. Okay, so that's how it works, eh? Okay. Anyway. Okay, so if that's the case, that is fine. Then in that case, we're gonna do a request.http method post, which is fine. What I'm gonna do is service with, in our service, this is what we need. Upload request, sorry, upload file. If I understand the API correctly, this is how our iOS API is going to work. So that's what we're gonna do. File URL with request. All right, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna send this request and we're gonna kickstart this publisher. So we're gonna check if the mock platform received that request. At the same time, we're gonna check if the mock platform received the URL as well. File URL. Yeah, right. So this should be a good listen, file URL. File URL, we're going to check file URL. We're going to we're going to create a file URL. This code is not going to compile because we're not writing a compilable code. We're just, trying to write a test first, then we will write the implementation later. Maybe we'll have a bundle.module module dot I don't know, let's for example main URL for resource file.png, whatever. So this is the file that we're going to send. We're going to make sure that the received file URL is also same. Something like that, right? So this is what we're going to do in our test. What we are doing here is that we're taking a file from our local bundle and we are creating a URL request, and then we are sending that request and the file to the service, and the request and file is going to be received by the mock platform which we created. So when the mock platform receives that request, we are verifying the sent request, and then the sent file is same as what we have sent. So that means if we do that, that means it is verified that the upload request is sent to the platform, right? So that's what we are trying to do. If I build it, it's obviously not going to build because there is nothing over here. Has no model. Okay, yeah, correct. So now let's come back to our network URL. Let's create a new directory called resources. Okay. I am going to add a new resource. All right, resource. So what I'm gonna do here is maybe I'm gonna download some image. Right, I'm gonna download this image. Let's see. Okay, this one sounds all right, whatever. Something should be good. All right, this one sounds good. I'm gonna download this one. Oh, this one is small. Let me download this. Save image as, I don't know, put it somewhere in the place where we have to put this in the test. Resources. Hopefully this PNG. Okay, so we have a file there. If we notice that there's going to be file here. So hopefully this is a file type as PNG. Correct. Okay, because that's what we are trying to upload. Now, if we go to our resource and then save it, this is going to regenerate our package. Okay, something's happening. This should work. This should work in terms of generation. Okay. So what else? Good, I think. Okay, that is fine. What other thing? Network request have no upload method. Correct. Generic parameter T could not be inferred. Recent file. In this mock URL session, we're gonna have a var. All right. Okay, so the only thing that is remaining is that we don't have anything called upload. That's what we're going to implement, right? So now our test is not building. Let's go back to our implementation now. Okay. So we generally build this thing from the build. Let's go here. And then in our network service, we are implementing this network request. What we're going to do here is we're going to introduce another protocol. Sorry, another method. Upload file. You know what? File URL or file? Upload file is fine because with request URL request. So this guy is going to return as a publisher, right? Response publisher. We will update. Maybe this will change. Maybe this return type will change, but we'll deal with that later. But for now, in order to satisfy our use case, this should be enough. So if we introduce this thing in our request, anybody who is conforming to this protocol has to uptake these changes as well, correct? So our network service actually do that. Let's build and then see, right? Yes, correct. So this does not conform to network request protocol. Let's see. Upload file. Good, right? Okay, so what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna create a, if this is the case, then we need to forward this request request as well. Before I forward this request, I'm gonna have to canonicalize this request and publish the request as well. Publish the request as well here, because that's what we're doing here. Platform.execute request, right? So to execute this request, why don't we just copy paste for now, right? Why don't we just copy paste just to get the thing building? Again, this will change because we're reusing the same normal request for upload request, but this will change. So if it's building, sounds good. Now, instead of sending this request to execute request, we need to introduce another platform abstraction method in this protocol. This time we're going to say, hey, this is the upload request. Execute upload request, because with the file the request execute upload, yeah, execute upload with request. Okay, sounds good. So if that is the case, let's just implement this execute upload here. Upload task, let's see what do we have in this upload task. Upload task, I wish upload task have a upload you know, something like this, right? Upload task publisher, because we are dealing with the any publisher. Okay, this is what we have right now, so we're gonna deal with that. Okay, URL request file. Okay, so this is what we're gonna receive, data or response. Okay, this is what we're gonna receive. Okay, sounds good. Ask, okay. All right, so how do we do this thing? Because we need to return any publisher here, but we are receiving a upload task here. So what we can do here is that we could create a future that returns this type, right? If you could have promise. So inside that we can have this guy, right? I'm gonna be shared so that it will execute only once. It will not execute multiple times. That's what it mean by, right? Share the output of a screen with the multiple subscriber and the publisher written by this update support contribution, all of whom receive unchanged limits. Okay. Okay, so I think if I share it, then it's not going to be much of a trouble. All right. So I have a task here. So this case promise dot. All right, if error. If there is an error, then we're gonna return promise a failure is URL error. I wish they send URL error instead directly. Anyway, maybe we should update our thing to error instead of URL error. We don't have to be very specific here. We can just subtract the URL error to error, right? Okay. So anyway, for now, let's keep it as error. Okay, that's what we're returning. There is an error, then return it. If not, we can return let success with data in the URL response. The data could be optional. This could be optional as well. Okay, so this is what we're gonna do, right? So this will do. Okay, so we're converting this upload task to a future so that we can just use combined publisher so that the consumer can use reactive programming instead of delegate based programming. So let's just see if this is building. Obviously, it's not gonna build. Okay, let's go here. Execute upload request with file and request. Okay. All right. So this is going to return back a response, a network response, which in our case, do we need them? Yeah, we need them. Yeah, network response is fine. So you see this, we need to clean up this code because this code is redundant, correct? So because the error handling and then the try mapping both are same. So we may need to clean up that, but for now, let's keep it. Let's try to pause the test. The tests are not passing here. What's gonna? Oh, okay, because this guy is optional, correct? If that is the case, then we're gonna have to update our network response as well. The payload is not going to be, we're not gonna have payload all the time. We are going to sometime receive a response. Okay, why don't we do that? Right? Good. Arrays. Okay, what's going on here? In platform class data expected expression. Guess there's something that I'm doing wrong here. Why bother? Okay. Are you happy now? Oh no, not yet. Data future. Okay. We doing that. Cannot convert an expression of a type shared feature. Also, okay, we cannot convert these two things, eh? Okay. Let's see. Where am I? Is happy now? Could not see realized diagnosed file, invalid diagnosed signature, network from. What's going on? Why is not cannot convert expression of type any publisher to return type in platform? What am I doing here? Am I missing here anything? Oh, I see. Okay. What? Oh, self-reference, eh? Wait, hold on. Self-reference? Okay, task. Once we return it, let's call this, remove this task. We're not calling anything self here. Erase to any publisher. Upload task is require explicit use of to make it semantic capture. Oh, okay. Come on. Because we are inside the. This okay. Yeah. Now what is the error now? Erase unused. Warning, missing written statement. Okay. Oh, I see now. Are you happy now? There you go. Sorry about that, guys. This is how it goes. As I said, it's not pre-scripted. I'm going to make this kind of silly mistake. Just feel free to skip to the next section. Anyway, so now we have that. So we make sure that we have we are clearing all this thing anyway. Sounds good. What if we just share it? Now I think I can just share it. There you go. Yeah, now I can share it, obviously. The share is not the problem here. Okay, so we will clean that up here later. Let's go to our test and then make sure that our tests are running. Instead of send request, we're gonna see that in our mock URL session, we're gonna have a execute upload recent request is equal to request recent file URL is equal to file URL. You know what? Let's run our test without this. I want to show the error. Yes, obviously. Yeah, now it is error is appearing. Let me change that inline to expand. Okay. All right, sounds good. So we have this thing here for now. Let's return a empty. Because we're not performing anything. We're just checking. We're not performing any upload thing. We're just checking if the request is sent. Let's see how this is reacting. Unwrapped response. Okay, why don't we just unwrap? Because we made the payload optional. So that introduce a cascade of changes in our tests. Hopefully that's it. Okay, sounds good. Let's test. Hopefully this is still recording. Yep, sounds good. Yeah, so now this is verified, right? Because let's recap. Sorry, let's summarize what we're doing here. We have a local file called upload. We're creating a URL request to upload that file. We introduce a new method called upload file in our network requesting the protocol. So we're calling that method to kickstart the upload, and we are verifying if the upload is sent to the platform. So which we are marking, right? So this is going to record the recently received request. The request that we are sending is going to go through this business logic, which is resides in network service. It's going to send that request to execute upload. This upload is going to internally call our mock because we're mocking, right? That's what it's going to do. All right, sounds good. So these are all the things, those are good. Code coverage. Let's see what's our code coverage. Obviously, it's going to take a heavy hit because we're duplicating a lot of code, and that code needs, the execution needs to reach those code because we have not handled it. Now let's come back to our cleanup process here, right? So let's do a cleanup here. You see these two things are redundant. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to introduce a private method. Oh, sorry. Oh, I thought I had a clip already stored. And then, okay. Private method function map try map. You know, why don't they call it try map itself? Try map this. Let's have a input is going to be data. Response. And if this is the input, I'm going to expect a throws output. That output has to be network response, right? That's what we are expecting. So if that is the case, then I can just, safely move this guy here. This is gonna throw, this is gonna throw. Okay, we're returning the response. Let's call this guy. You know what? Instead of calling this as a self, why don't I just make it as a static method? So that way I can just call this guy self dot try map, right? This way no state is changed, so I don't have to worry about retain cycle or anything. So because we're not storing an instance here. Okay, let's see if this is building. Expect, oh wait, what's gonna, okay, input dot oh, okay, we may need to use the self here because we're using a stream. maybe we can just let's figure out that later. Okay, let's figure that out later. Yeah, but this is going to fail, right? Okay, cannot convert a value of type data to expected argument type. Okay, come on, why can't I do that? 1 0 type response expected argument. Okay, sounds good, which is not too bad. So now let's do the same thing for error as well. I'm guessing if I do this thing optional, then these guys are also going to complain because this guy is going to return the data. Well, let's see if that just the same thing works here as well. Okay, sounds good. Optional is fine, I guess. Not, this sounds good. Okay, let's do the same thing for the map error as well. Map this error input error into network error. That's what we wanted to do. So let's copy this guy over here and comment this one. If we comment this one, then we can just make use of that. Service dot map error. Map error network service dot map error. Okay, let's see if this works. Oh, 0 is the input. Okay, so this is building. So this code is clean right now. Let's test. This should fail. This should fail our logging tests because yeah, as I said, network event logging, we have commented it. So let's fix that problem here. How do we do that here? Well, let's see. Value, why don't I just add? We have network utility, right? Network utility test utilities, and that guy contains something called on value. What I'm going to do here is that in on value, I'm going to so if I do that, then this is also going to be redundant. But that's okay. Just one line anyway. Shouldn't be a problem. On error, the same thing. Publish this share. All right, so this sounds okay to me because this drastically reduced a lot of redundant code. This should be fine. Let's run our code to make sure our tests are passing. Oh no, what's going on? Okay, sounds good. Tests are green now. There is one more thing that we wanted to do is to just, canonicalize this request. So why don't we improve that as well? Because that code is also redundant. Function, this can be um, instant method. Or request. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna copy this guy. Um, Oops. Okay, sounds good. Final request. You know what? Final request doesn't request with info added. That should be a good name. Request. Okay. If that's the case, I can just delete this one. All right, so looks like our code is getting clean because we're just reusing all our, we're creating a method to parse our response and error and then reusing that everywhere so that we don't have to have redundant implementation. So let's see how this is going to work. Maybe we can just, move this thing here. No, not really, because if I do that, then the method, see, usually, this is so tempting to add this thing, right? Because this, if I add this thing here, then I can remove this code as well, right? So this two lines are redundant, so it's tempting to do that, but I don't want it to do that. The reason is that if I do this way, then the method, the request with info added, it just violates the single responsibility again, right? So even the single responsibility applies to the method itself. So if I do that, then the method does two things. It just adds info, and at the same time, it is taking care of sending the request to a logging or a stream. So I don't want it to do that. So I'm going to keep the single responsibility intact, but this is fine. This shouldn't be a problem. Okay, let's see how this is working. Okay, this is success. So far it is good. Let's see our code coverage, how it is. Our network code coverage is 70%. And why is that? The platform. Oh yeah, obviously. Okay, so this platform, in the sense we're not doing it. We wanted to add a instrumentation test for this one. So this similar to what we have done over here in our request, because so far we are testing our business logic, which is network service, right? So this network service is where all our parsing or adding our request, adding more information to the request, all those information is going to reside. Not just in network service, in the future, if we add any more service like this is the service where we're going to add our business logic. This is exactly what we wanted to test. Since the platform abstraction is a mock, we need to, the test execution is not going to reach here. At least the unit test execution is not going to reach. So that's why it is showing as red, because this is affecting our code coverage. In order to fix that, we write instrumentation test. This instrumentation test actually sends a URL request, actual URL request, and test the production logic. So we may want to add one more thing. Maybe we will do that in the next video, or I don't think we need to create this video any more longer. In my previous videos, I have implemented an instrumentation test and have explained how we can do it. I'm going to skip that part in this video. Please check out my previous video. There is a video called code coverage, 100% code coverage, and a code cleanup. I will add the link somewhere in the video as well, in the info section somewhere. Please check out that. I'm going to skip that here, right? Anyway, so that is okay. So this is how we implement this URL request. What other thing that we wanted to do here? Upload request. This is fine. Everything is fine. Okay, sounds good, right? So far we have recorded 51 minutes. I'm going to stop the video here. Maybe we'll add one more video later for another use case. How we can just do the progress report, because it's already 51 minutes. So I don't want to do this thing anymore longer. Sounds good. Let's see what do we have here. If there is anything else we can just improve. So far good. We have upload request. That's fine. Oh wait, hold on. Actually we made a major mistake here. Okay, I'm gonna correct that. So you see, there is something called network test utility. I am making use of the network test utility in our production code. Although this is really helpful method, combined method, which resides under test utility. Instead, we may want it, if you're going to use this thing in our production code, we may want to either rename it. So now it's time for us to update this model. What I'm going to do here is, instead of calling it as a network test utility, I'm going to call it combined utility. Combined utility, right? So if I do that, then I'm going to go and then rename this thing here. So everywhere that I'm calling network utility, I'm going to rename that to combined utility. Find and replace all. Find and replace all. Okay. Why it is not replacing? Oh, okay. I'm not replacing it actually. All right, sounds good. So if I do that, then this shouldn't be a problem. Okay, something is failing. Oh, okay. So I'm not depending on this guy. It's a local model anyway. Hey, what's going on? What is this target iPhone 12? All right, sounds good. Isn't it? All right, sounds good. So we have a 70% code coverage. I'm going to stop the video here. I'm going to add a instrumentation test after I stop this video. When you check out the code base, you will see 100% code coverage. As I said, I'm going to skip the instrumentation test part, because we have already explained how to write it. So you go check out that. Okay, thank you. I'm going to stop this video right here. So in the next video, we will implement how to do the upload progress. Thanks for watching. I will talk to you guys in the next video.